果てることのない戦いの末に待つ者、一族の滅亡とに戦いを挑んだ。
Uchiha Madara, a name that will live in infamy for the rest of time, especially throughout the shinobi world. The legendary shinobi from the legendary clan. The man that took on the first Hokage. The man that had a summoning contract with the Nine Tails after putting him in a genjutsu and telling him to obey. The man who was first to have recorded to awaken the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan. The name that shakes the world to its very core. The man whose eyes would unleash chaos on the world long after his death. Only man to awaken the Rinnegan since the Rikuru Senin. The man who almost ended the world itself as we know it. But those are all topics for other videos. Let's go back in time to a man that had just awakened his Mangekyou Sharingan and dissect and analyze in the attempt to solve probably the biggest question shrouding Madara. What was Uchiha Madara's Mangekyou Sharingan ability? Uchiha Madara Mangekyou Sharingan no Nyoriku to wa. Understand what Madara's abilities were from his Mangekyou Sharingan, we need to first understand what the Mangekyou Sharingan is. So if you already know or don't care, you can skip to the timestamp right here on the screen, but I'll quickly go over it. The Mangekyou Sharingan is another heightened level of the user's base Sharingan abilities. However, the way it differentiates itself from the typical Sharingan pattern is due to 1. The pattern in the eye resembling a circular pinwheel rotational pattern. Every Mangekyou Sharingan wielder's pattern is different and unique to that specific person, unless 2 people share the same pair of original eyes, as in the case of Kakashi and Obito. They both had Obito's original pair of eyes, and when they awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan, the pattern was still the same even though they were tied to different people, which lets me know that the power of your Mangekyou Sharingan and the pattern is already predetermined within that person. I'll do a video in depth explaining what I mean by this another time, but if you really want this video, I'll definitely put it up for you guys. But back to the original topic. Mangekyou Sharingan allows the users to use new abilities that give them a boost in fighting potential and power. For example, Itachi can use Tsukuyomi in his left eye and Amaterasu in his right eye. Sasuke can use Amaterasu in his left eye and Kagasuchi in his right eye. Obito, he can use the close range Kamui, which he can teleport an unlimited amount of objects himself and phase himself from reality in his right eye. And Kakashi, who uses his left eye, can teleport things that are far away into another dimension that is connected to Obito's right eye. So even though there's the same ability, they function differently and are kind of 2 different abilities in the way. Shinobi far more dangerous than they would have if they hadn't awakened them. However, this is where the unfortunate reality of being Uchiha with the Mangekyou Sharingan comes in. You thought it was sweet? You thought Kishimoto was feeling you? You thought you was finna do this money glitch and they wasn't gonna patch you? Really? You that's what you thought. You thought you thought you was gonna go around with these broken ass abilities and not have no drawbacks? You thought you had Hashirama cells? No. No. I'm gonna explain why it's bad. The unfortunate reality of having a Mangekyou Sharingan comes in. Immediately after using the powers of the Mangekyou Sharingan, you will start to go blind. The cost for using such great power is the degradation of them themselves, and with continued use, they will eventually seal themselves shut forever. And what I mean by that is he's able to record an event with his right eye, play back the event, and rewind time with his left eye. And he also gathers information at the same time, so it allows him to adjust what he could have done, which seems like a common theme with Madara. He always goes back, and he died, came back to life. A theme with Madara is he always has a contingency plan. And that's why I believe personally that your Mangekyou ability goes very much in line with your beliefs and your desires. He died, but he came back with the Izanagi contingency plan. He died, came back through the use of the Edo Tensei unintentionally. He died and came back with the Rinne rebirth with Obito. It just seems like a common theme with him. Madara is he's always thinking ahead. He's always looking in the future. He said his plans was a dream of a far future. So that seems like a kind of a common theme with Madara. Even when he was a kid with Hashirama, whenever they'd fight, he would lose outright. He would lose up front. It would just look like he'd lose. However, he would often throw a rock in there and knock Hashirama down too. He always had a contingency plan. So I do see that the common theme. So seeing as time or rewinding time or reversing time or going back in time or altering time is a common theme with him, I based the names and powers of his Mangekyou abilities that I named and researched and stuff based off Japanese gods of time. So I'll explain that now. Okay, let's start with the right eye. Herumu, or Helm in English, was the god of watchfulness or vigilance, the vigilant one, known to be very astute and insightful into the future, constantly watching over his people and those around him and his opponents, all in order to make the best decision for what's being observed. And I think this is appropriate because considering Madara's actions, he was always looking out for the Uchiha. He was always watching out with a vigilant eye and always skeptical of making decisions that would not really benefit his clan. And this is really in line with his personality and abilities. Basically watch, which is really a staple in his ability to be able to just watch and react and make the best decision based off that. Which in my opinion is of course really telling because the god of watchfulness, with the vigilant god, he had insight into the future as to what would befall the Uchiha in the future. That doesn't mean he didn't help with his actions, and the people he taught didn't help in the downfall of the Uchiha, but that doesn't mean that he was necessarily incorrect in what he foresaw. So, Madara was very astute and he was very aware of what could potentially happen in the future, and it influenced his decisions. And fun little note, the insignia of Herumu, of course, was an eye, a watchful eye. Okay, and now the left eye. Janasu, or Janus in English, was the god of time, also known as the god of duality. Funnily enough, because that is a common theme that Madara talks about throughout the entire series. Tells it to Obito, Pain tells it to Naruto, and light and dark, yin and yang, good and evil, young and old, war and peace, new doorways and beginnings. And I think that's appropriate because Janasu was a god of time, which seems to be ability in his left eye to rewind time and to have the foresight and hindsight within his eye to go forward and backwards in time. Hindsight and foresight, another duality. Another reason I named his left eye's ability Janasu. Madara was pretty much the initiator in the concept or the thought of the concept of duality within Naruto. Everything Obito and Pain talk about stem from the teachings of Madara and him understanding the dualities that ultimately led towards the initiation of the new world or new plan or new reality, Mugen Tsukuyomi, to infinite Tsukuyomi. Madara himself explained to Hashirama and Tobirama that people desire peace but initiate wars, dualities of mankind. Stop these would stop people from being people. Not to mention, Madara's Mangekyou patterns seem to be similar to the yin and yang symbol, dualities in itself. Pretty much all I have for today. This was a cool little video. I thought it'd be pretty funny, pretty enlightening, and pretty educational and pretty cool. Just somewhat kind of theorize and dissect what could have been, or the parameters surrounding his Mangekyou ability, since we didn't get too much information on it. I thought, why not create it myself. So if you guys want to go around and call in his left eye's ability Janasu and his right eye's Herumu, and feel free to, and you can use the points I talked about in this video as a reference. But like I said, that's all I have today. If you enjoy it, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more like that, leave video comments or comment. I could do some more videos on the topics I suggested really early in the video, like, does your Mangekyou ability and personality have any sort of resonance, or does your personality or desires influence the abilities and pattern that you get? So, I have peace.